You're watching NBA Now by Chat Sports. I am your host, Chase Sr. We're breaking down the latest on Damian Lillard. Is he going to be out of Portland in the coming days? Has he requested a trade? Let's get to the latest. So this report coming out early on Friday, according to True Hoop, Damian Lillard expected to request a trade in, quote, the days to come. That report comes from a source close to Damian Lillard. So now you're looking at one of the best scorers in the NBA, a guy who a lot of teams across the NBA are very interested in, and the pursuit for Dame is on for one of the best bucket getters in the NBA. On top of that report from True Hoop, this coming down from Barry Bonds. He is verified, covers the NBA according to his Twitter profile. He had this to say: Damian Lillard has officially requested a trade from the Portland Trail Blazers. The Knicks, Lakers, Heat, and Warriors, all teams that Dame is expected to be interested in. And coming up, we'll break down these Damian Lillard trade destinations. First, a quick look at the player. My gosh, this guy is a cold-blooded killer. He'll stab you in the heart at the end of playoff games. The playoff success as a team hasn't been there for the Blazers. You know, the last several years, they failed to get out of the first round. They had that Western Conference Finals trip in 2018, but that's the furthest the Blazers have made it in the playoffs since Dame was drafted out of Weber State in 2012. Almost 29 points per game, very good creator as well. This guy at the end of games is a go-to scoring option who's one of the most elite in his craft. He's got everything in his offensive pocket, and he's a cold-blooded assassin. His contract for the next several years, for teams interested in him, they're going to have to absorb a large salary. This is the base salary over the next few years. This upcoming season, $39+ million. It goes up to 42. 2023, 2024, up to 45.5, and that salary continues to blossom before Dame is a free agent in a few years. So as for the teams that are going to be interested in Dame, we have a list coming up. There's going to be several, but first, predict his future for us here on NBA Now. We're a very interactive YouTube channel. We like you to come up with your own hot takes. Where will Damian Lillard play next season? Get those predictions in the comment section. Dame going to Los Angeles? Hey, he was with LeBron James on the sideline of a Sparks WNBA game a couple weeks ago, and that kind of caused a lot of rumors to surface about, hey, maybe King James is going to team up with Dame. We will see. Lakers, the reason why they're on this list of Dame trade destinations, they're always in the market for an elite player. They're a very aggressive franchise. LeBron is 36 years old. Los Angeles has to win right now, and Dame and LeBron hanging out, baby. So that's why we're talking about it. This trade idea, it's very simple. And for the Anthony Davis truthers out there, for those who defend him, he's a generational player. But let's be realistic. If you're the Lakers and you want Damian Lillard, you're not going to get him back for Kyle Kuzma, KCP, and Talen Horton-Tucker. We got to be realistic. And the only realistic way to get it done in terms of player-for-player power as well as salary matches, Dame for Anthony Davis. Two players side by side, two of the best at their respective positions, especially in this generation. They have no problem scoring the rock. Dame's going to give you a little bit more points. Anthony Davis is going to give you much more off the glass and defensively, mixing it up down low and stretching the floor in the outside. Who do you think the better player is between AD and Damian Lillard? Don't let your votes be caught on the DL, but if you think Dame is the better player, type DL. If you think it's AD, simply type AD. Laker Nation, this is why you subscribe. We bring you the latest on the Damian Lillard trade rumors. Next up, the latest on Chris Paul. So either hit that red subscribe button down below or go to youtube.com/LakersTV. Let this be your offseason hub for all of the latest Lakers free agency news and rumors. Could Chris Paul transition from Phoenix to Los Angeles? Banana boat reunion. Who says no? Let's get it and let's explore it. LeBron recently on the Jimmy Kimmel show this week and said some interesting things about a variety of issues because Kimmel hit him with a bunch of fascinating questions. One of the topics of conversation was Chris Paul because he's competing in the NBA Finals right now. And LeBron said he would, quote, absolutely want to play with Chris Paul when he was asked about that by Arsenio Hall, who was filling in for Jimmy Kimmel on the show. LeBron and CP3's friendship goes back a long, long time. These guys have been friends for what seems like decades now because they've been in the league forever. And here's exactly what LeBron James had to say on the Jimmy Kimmel show with Arsenio Hall as the host. That is my brother, Chris Paul, and we've known each other since my junior year of high school, his sophomore year. We actually met for the first time when we were in 8th grade. We've been friends ever since, and that's why these rumors since then and over the last several years have continued to circulate about at some point LeBron teaming up with CP3. CP3 in the regular season, I thought, deserves some MVP recognition. In the playoffs, he's been just as good, especially in elimination games. These are his numbers in the regular season, and there's really been no drop-off in his play. He has held a lot of Suns accountable. He's been a fantastic leader. He's a guy who's changed the entire culture of the Phoenix Suns, where this was a team that was consistently in the cellar, in the basement, in the standings of the Western Conference for a very, very long time. And now they're on the precipice of possibly winning the franchise's first ever NBA title. You know why? It's the impact of Chris Paul. He's simply been amazing for this franchise. And a part of me would just love to see Chris Paul and LeBron team up just for 1 year before it's all said and done. LeBron's 36 years old, going to be 37 years old later this year, and I think their games would complement each other pretty well. I know Chris Paul is very ball dominant. LeBron ball dominant as well, but there have been reports recently that have indicated that LeBron actually would think about making a switch to the 4 spot, which would then take the ball out of his hands. He'd be more of a point forward, paving the way for maybe a guy like Chris Paul to be the point guard of the Lake Show. At the end of the day, though, I think this is very, very highly unlikely. For this simple reason. Why would Chris Paul want to leave Phoenix? You really have everything there. You have a good coach in Monty Williams. You have a superstar who you can rely on in Devin Booker. DeAndre Ayton has come onto the scene and really solidified himself in the status of some of the best big men in the league because of his ability to lock it down on both ends of the floor. This is a great situation for Chris Paul to not only obviously compete for a championship this year, because the Suns are 2 games away from doing that, but from here on out until the end of his career, he's got an opportunity to be in the mix year in and year out with an organization that kind of has all of the prerequisites checked off, I should say, for teams and organizations chasing championships. Front office James Jones, coach Monty Williams, teammates Devin Booker, DeAndre Ayton, Mikal Bridges, Cam Johnson, the list goes on and on and on. So CP3 to the Lake Show, Lakers would have to do a lot of salary cap maneuvering. But tell me this, Laker Nation, do you at least want the Lakers to sign Chris Paul and go after him? Get those votes in down below. Type Y for yes or type N for no.